Welcome to Bangla City SATV News. This is Nuri Alamin with the headlines. BNP is fighting a battle for its existence as a political party, said Prime Minister, while addressing a civic reception in London. Buses and launches running on new fares, complaints of 50% extra fare collection. Obaidul Qadir wants to take strict action. 4 accused of attacking and looting temple in Noakhali have been arrested. They have recovered looted worship materials. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina expressed concern as BNP is fighting a battle for its existence as a political party. She also said a convicted criminal in the killing case, arms smuggling and corruption case, and a fugitive is now at the helm of the political party. Hasina, also the president of the ruling Awami League, said this while addressing a civic reception accorded to at her Queen Elizabeth Centre in London. She joined the program virtually from her place of the residence in London. Awami League always stands beside people and thinks about welfare of the people, she also added. After 3 days strike, public transport have started plying again. Passengers are expressing anger over the extra fare. Lifting on the transport strike, buses were introduced in the capital to collect 50% more than before. Earlier at the meeting of the Transport Owner Association with Bangladesh Road Transport BRTA, it was proposed to increase the fare by 26.5% in the metropolis. Meanwhile, after bus fare hike, the launch fare has also been increased by the 35%. The fare for up to 100 km has been increased to 2.30 taka from 1.70 taka and 2 taka from 1.40 taka for further distance. However, Minister Obaidul Qadir has warned to take strict action if the promise of the Road Transport and Bridges extra fare is broken. RAB arrested 4 people named Rubel, Rakib, Ripon and Shohag on the charges of attacking and looting a temple at Chomuhani in Noakhali. During this time, the looted worship materials and goods of the temple were recovered from them. Speaking at the press conference at the Karan Bazar Media Center in the capital this morning, Khondakar Al-Moin, director of the RAB's Law and Media Branch, said some people involved in raids and looting at the temples of the capitals Demra, Narayanganj, and Noakhali's Begamganj were arrested on the basis of the video footage analysis and intelligence as well. A number of the worship items, including looted bronze idols, the Bangladeshi coins and cash were recovered from them. BNP announced 2 days of demonstrations in protest against the fresh hike in the diesel and kerosene prices. As part of the program, BNP all metropolitan city units except Dhaka will stage demonstrations and protest rallies on Wednesday. Besides the parties, all the district units will observe the similar program in the district headquarters on November 12. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir came up with the announcement at the Human Chain program today. Fakhrul said that protest against the increase in fuel price now needs to spread across the country to save people from sufferings. Shakil Ahmed, head of news at SATV, has sought anticipatory bail from the High Court in a case filed against him on charge of establishing a sexual relationship with a news presenter with false promises. He also submitted a petition to lawyer Al-Masood Beg on the High Court yesterday seeking anticipatory bail. He said the case has been filed against him on false charge in order to harass and malign him. The lawyer said High Court may hold hearing on the bail petition later today. A news presenter of SATV has filed the case under the Women and Children Repression Prevention Act on November 4. In the case, she also alleged that the Shakil Ahmed had also forced her to abort her 7-month-old fetus. Now elsewhere across the world, the United States finally opened the land and air border for foreign travelers who received the full dose of coronavirus vaccine today. The ban was maintained for about 20 months due to the corona epidemic. Then US President Donald Trump imposed restrictions on foreign travelers entering the United States in early 2020. Biden upheld travel restrictions imposed by Trump after taking over the US president. There is a widespread criticism that the travel ban remains in the place. In particular, Europe, neighboring Canada and Mexico didn't like the issue of the US travel ban. The US border has been closed since March 2020 for travelers, the most countries in the world. Among them, there were the United Kingdom, China and India, in addition to the European Union. Millions of people around the world have suffered personally and financially as a result of travel restrictions imposed by the United States for more than a year and a half. The US Supreme Court on Monday will take up a case involving 3 Muslim men in California who say they were surveilled at their mosque by the FBI after September 11, 2001 attack by the base solely on the religion. The 3 men, Yasir Fazaga, Imam of the Orange Country Islamic Foundation, along with Aliuddin Malik and Yasir Al-Harim, say the FBI sent confidential information to the several mosques in the country in 2006 and 2007. However, the Imam and his 2 congregants filed complaint against the FBI for spying on them in violation of the federal law and their constitutional rights. Meanwhile, Chinese President Xi Jinping, the uncontested leader of the world's most populous nation, heads a pivotal plenary of the ruling party top figures next week that will set the tone for his bid for the long-term rule. From Monday to Thursday, some 400 members of the Communist Party all-powerful Center Committee gather in Beijing behind closed doors. The only such meeting this year paved the way of its 20-party Congress next autumn, at which Xi Jinping is widely expected to be handed the 3rd term in the office, also cementing his position as China's most powerful leader since Mao Zedong. As the next week plenary, top figures will debate a key resolution celebrating the party's main achievements in its 100 years of existence, said the state news agency of Xinhua. Israel has reaffirmed its stance that it will not allow the reopening the U.S. consulate of Jerusalem, a move that would restore Washington's main diplomatic mission for the Palestinians in the city. The local media reports that Israel Prime Minister Naftali Bennett said there was no room in Jerusalem for another American mission. The foreign minister suggested that the consulate could instead be opened in the Palestinian Administrative Center in the West Bank. However, this has been rejected by the Palestinians as it would undermine their claims to Jerusalem. United Kingdom is pledging $290 million to help poorer countries cope with the impact of climate change. At the COP26 Climate Change Summit, they will discuss how to support poorer countries and also if repatriation of the damage from the natural disaster should be paid. Poorer nations have called for the $100 billion financial help, arguing they are already suffering and will be worst affected by the climate change. Reports said the majority of the money from the UK will go to help Asian and the Pacific nations plan and invest in the climate action, improve the conservation, and promote low-carbon development. Astronaut Wang Weiping became the first Chinese woman to walk in space, authorities said today, as her team completed a 6-hour stint outside the Tiangong space station as part of its ongoing construction. Tiangong is the latest achievement in China's drive to become the major space power after landing a rover on Mars and sending probes to the moon. Its core module entered orbit earlier this year, with the station expected to be operational 2022. China Manned Space Agency said in a statement today, the first in China's space history involving the participation of a women astronaut. The whole process was smooth and successful, the agency added, declaring it's finished. Now a story from the sports world. Australian cricket team will tour Pakistan next year for the first time since 1998. Pakistan Cricket Board (PCB) said today the team will visit from March to April for Test, one international and one 2020 match. PCB Chairman Ramiz Raza said Australia are one of the high-performing sides and them playing in our background for the first time after a gap of 24 years will be the special treat for the fans. About 1,000 chanting fans packed for the energized Stockholm Arena as the Ukrainian team of the Navy defeated G2 Sports to win one of the biggest titles in the pro gaming. After the pandemic caused a 2-year pause to the person event, Counter-Strike, one of the world's most popular competitive video games, was back in front of a live audience for the Swedish capital. Led by their star player, Notas Vincier beat their rival by 2-0 on Sunday to carry home the PGL Major Stockholm 2021 crown. The team also pocketed $1 million. The tournament was originally scheduled to take place in Brazil but relocated to Sweden, which was removed almost all restrictions related to the COVID-19 pandemic. Before ending, we go through Bangla City SATV News headlines again. BNP is fighting a battle for its existence as a political party, said Prime Minister while addressing a civic reception in London. Buses and launches running on new fares. Complaints for 50% extra fare collection. Obaidul Kader warns to take strict action. 4 accused of attacking and looting temple in Noakhali have been arrested. They have recovered looted worship materials. You are up to date with the Bangla City SATV News, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.